Well, let's take a look at the view commands in the drop-down menu, and there are quite a lot of them. You need to be confident in managing your view of a drawing at quite an early stage of your learning. So it's view, zoom real time. Let's look at that option. You'll see that the pointer changes to a plus and minus sign. So as we drag our mouse downwards, we're shrinking out, and as we move our mouse upwards, I'm holding the shift key down. I'm holding the left button of the mouse down, of course, as I'm doing that. So that's a real-time zoom. You can zoom previous, which goes back to the previous view that you had. And if I went view previous again, it's stepping out to a different view. So I can step back through the series of views that I have stored, or that get stored automatically. Zoom window is the obvious. If I click it and say I want to have a look at that lug in that particular area, I can do so. If we zoom extents, that shows us the whole drawing in one view, and that's a really important tool to use. If we look at zoom in, you can see that has a little plus sign alongside it, and the purpose of that is that if you press the numlock key on your keyboard, and I've done that now, and I'll click away from here, and I hit the plus sign on my numlock keyboard, you can see we can zoom in, click, 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 and the minus sign goes out, click, click, click. That can be quite useful, although some keyboards, of course, don't have an easily accessible numlock keypad. If we go to zoom out, we've discussed it. Zooming a selected object is if we say we wanted to look at some part of the top of what is a tank, we can just select a line there and then say zoom to selected object, and you can see we've gone straight to that particular line. That can be quite a handy viewing tool. Panning real time, we get a hand signal and we can hold. It's like putting your hand down on a piece of drawing paper and then sliding it across the desktop. If we go to pan a point, we can go click, and the drawing pans down in the direction and the distance that we just nominated. 3D views we'll skip for the moment because dCAD is not, although it will display 3D modeling, it's not specifically organized at this stage for it. Under toolbars, you can turn on or off some of the toolbars. If we said object snap toolbar, which is over here on the right hand side, if we said we don't want it, we just click it and now it disappears from that right hand side. We can of course bring them back. There's a magnifier down in the corner down here, so as we move around over here, you can see as I come, say, see detail, I'm magnifying things. I don't find that particularly useful, but it's interesting to see. There's a navigator, an aerial view as well, and as you pan around, let's move the navigator here. As we pan around the drawing, we can see, but when we click in here, we can zoom in with the, no we can't, we can zoom in and out with this, that's right. We got a little sliding bar at the bottom that moves us in and out. You can see that even though I've been using the software for a long time, I'm unfamiliar with some of these aspects, which tells you that you don't need to know all of it all the time. There's a pages option and a regenerate option. We'll talk about the pages operation in a separate video, but under regen or regenerate, that refreshes the graphics card. It's quite important from time to time to regen your drawing, refreshes everything, and can be very helpful. I want to get rid of that magnifier, so I just click it again. Let's activate that navigator again, view and magnifier. I keep getting the terminology. It's the magnifier I want to get rid of. It can be handy. As you can see, we're hovering over this washer here and or flange, and we can see it in the magnifier area. But if I don't want it, I need to go view, one click on magnifier, and you see it stays, but then when we regenerate the drawing, it disappears, and that is a really important thing. Otherwise you'll be frustrated, as I was.